everybody, it's Mr. Matt. Today we're going to read one of my favorite books, The Other Side, written by one of my favorite authors, Jacqueline Woodson. This is a book that we always read every year in January, and it always sparks some really great discussions. And I know some of you enjoy it, so I thought I would bring it home and we'd read it together in our videos. So hello, special care. How are you today? We're just fine. Hello, everybody. How are you? It's nice to see you here today. Hello, at home. How are you? It's nice to see you here today. Hello, at school. How are you? It's nice to see you here today. Hello, everybody, everywhere. It's nice to see you here today. Let's get right to it. The Other Side is a book written by Jacqueline Woodson. That means that she's the author of the book and she wrote all the words that we're going to read. This is also illustrated by E.B. Lewis. That means that E.B. Lewis painted all of the pictures that you see inside the book, like the picture of these sunflowers. And the picture that you see on the front cover, let's look at it very, very closely. Do you see the front cover? There's a girl right here on a tire swing. And then there's another girl back there, and she is standing on a fence. So let's think about that. What do we know about a fence? A fence can keep you safe. A fence can stop you from leaving a playground. A fence can stop you from leaving your yard and keep you safe. Or a fence can separate people. A fence can keep this little girl maybe on this side of the fence and keep that little girl on the other side of the fence. And in the book, that's what the grown-ups are trying to do. They don't want these girls to play together. And they're using a fence to try to separate them and keep them apart. What a strange idea. I wonder what's going to happen. The Other Side by Jacqueline Woodson. Let's get closer. There we go. That summer, the fence that stretched through our town seemed bigger. We lived in a yellow house on one side of it. White people lived on the other. And Mama said, "Don't climb over that fence when you play." She said it wasn't safe. You see the fence? Right there through the yard. That summer, there was a girl who wore a pink sweater. Each morning, she climbed up on that fence and stared over at our side. Sometimes I stared back, but she never sat on that fence with anybody. That girl didn't. Can you see her up there? Once, when we were jumping rope, she asked if she could play. And my friend Sandra said no, without even asking the rest of us. I don't know what I would have said. Maybe yes, maybe no. That summer, everyone and everything on the other side of that fence seemed far away. When I asked my mama why, she said because that's the way things have always been. But sometimes, when me and Mama went into town, I saw that girl with her mama. She looked sad sometimes, that girl did. "Don't stare," my mama said. "It's not polite." It rained a lot that summer. On rainy days, that girl sat on the fence in a raincoat. She let herself get all wet and acted like she didn't even care. And sometimes I saw her dancing around in puddles, splashing and laughing. Mama wouldn't let me go out in the rain. That's why I bought you rainy day toys, my mama said. You stay inside here where it's warm and safe and dry. But every time it rained, I looked for that girl, and I always found her somewhere near the fence. Someplace in the middle of the summer, the rain stopped. When I walked outside, the grass was damp, and the sun was already high up in the sky, and I stood there with my hands up in the air. I felt brave that day. I felt free. I got close to the fence, and that girl asked me my name. Clover, I said. My name's Annie, she said. Annie Paul, I live over yonder, she said. By where you see that laundry, that's my blouse hanging on the line. She smiled then, and she had a pretty smile. They're talking, and they're using their kind words. And then I smiled, and we stood there looking at each other, smiling. It's nice up on this fence, Annie said. You can see all over. I ran my hand along the fence. I reached up and touched the top of it. A fence like this was made for sitting on, Annie said, and she looked at me sideways. My mama says I shouldn't go on the other side, I said. Well, my mama said the same thing, but she never said nothing about sitting on it. Neither did mine, I replied. Maybe they'll sit together with their kind words. That summer, me and Annie sat together on the fence. And when Sandra and them looked at me funny, I just made believe I didn't care. Look at that. Some mornings, my mama watched us. I waited for her to tell me to get down from the fence before I break my neck or something, but she never did. I see you made a new friend, she said one morning, and I nodded and Mama smiled. That summer, me and Annie sat on the fence and watched the whole wide world around us. One day, Sandra and them were jumping rope near the fence, and we asked if we could play. I don't care, Sandra said. And when we jumped, Sandra and me were partners the way we used to be. They're sharing the jump rope with everybody now. When we were too tired to jump anymore, we sat up on the fence, all of us in a long line. All the girls are sitting on the fence together. It's cool. Someday, somebody's going to come along and knock down this old fence, Annie said. And I nodded. Yeah, I said, someday. Let's go back and review the story. Let's look at it. What happened at the beginning of the story? At the beginning of the story, there's two families. There's a family that lives over here in this house, and over there across on the other side of the fence. And they've got rules. They're not supposed to cross the fence. They're not supposed to play together. And when this little girl right there asks if she could play, they tell her no. So the girls just continue to watch each other. Watching, looking, and one day she feels brave. She's going to go say hi. And when the girls start talking, they use their kind words, they listen, and they decide that they can be friends, which is great. They decide that it'll be okay to sit together and talk. So they sit together on the fence while Mama watches. While their friends are watching. and Mama watches. And one day those friends decide that they can share the jump rope with everybody. And by the end of the story, all of those girls are sitting together on the top of the fence. And they hope that one day all of the barriers that stop us from being friends will be taken down. What a wonderful story. The Other Side by Jacqueline Woodson. I hope today that you can choose kindness, use your nice words, and be friendly to all those people around you, especially while we're stuck inside together, right? So bye-bye, special care. Bye-bye. Have a good day today. Bye, everybody.